What's up, everybody? Collin Sexton has been linked to the New York Knicks for weeks now, and just recently, it's been reported by Shams of The Athletic that the Knicks are the most aggressive suitor of Collin Sexton. Sexton was the eighth pick in the 2018 NBA draft by the Cavs, and he still has one more year left on his rookie contract. So how good is Collin Sexton, and should the Knicks trade for him? Let's talk about that in this video. But before we continue, please like the video and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a banger. Now let's get started. Collin Sexton is one of the more underrated players in the league in my opinion. He's coming off an amazing season where he averaged 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists per game on 47% shooting from the field, 37% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line, which is very efficient. Sexton's 24 points per game ranked 18th in the entire league, which really goes to show that he's one of the elite scorers in just his third season, and he can really score well on all 3 levels. He's excellent driving to the basket and finishing at the hoop. He shot 60% within 5 feet of the basket this year, which is very good for a small guard. He's also a deadly scorer in the mid-range, and he's a knockdown shooter from 3 as well. There's very few holes in his game scoring-wise, and Collin Sexton is an absolute killer. He wants to destroy the opposition, and the bigger the game, the better he's going to play. Sexton's elite ability to create his own shot could definitely help the Knicks. We saw in the Knicks playoff series against Atlanta how the Knicks lacked advanced shot creators. Julius Randle was completely shut down, and the only consistent scorer for the Knicks in that series was Derrick Rose. Another elite scorer on this team is something that the Knicks could definitely use. But while Sexton is a great scorer, it's important to recognize his weaknesses. Sexton struggles as both a playmaker and a defender. Sexton's playmaking has gotten better this year, as he did average a career 5 assists per game, but he's still very much a score-first player. He doesn't look to pass enough off his drives, and he can be a bit careless with the ball, as he did average 3 turnovers a game. It was reported this season that Sexton's teammates were frustrated with Sexton's ball hogging, so passing is an area of his game that he still needs to work on. But despite his shortcomings, Sexton is still a pretty good player. The reason the Cavs are shopping Sexton has more to do with fit. The Cavaliers have to split up their starting backcourt of Sexton and Garland if they want to contend one day. Both Sexton and Garland are pretty good, but they're both bad defenders, and having an undersized backcourt that's bad defensively isn't a formula for success. Just look at the Portland Trail Blazers. You can make the playoffs playing like this, but it's really hard to go deep in the playoffs with a starting backcourt that struggles to defend. And with Sexton set to be a free agent next year, the Cavaliers look like they want to split up their backcourt and get a decent return for Sexton while they still have some leverage. But back to the Knicks. I think Collin Sexton would be a good fit on the team since they could use some more advanced shot creators. Yes, he is a poor defender, but the Knicks were one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, so they could probably hide him on defense. But it's also important to remember that Sexton doesn't really solve the Knicks' point guard issues. Sexton isn't a point guard, he's a shooting guard. So if the Knicks were to acquire Sexton, they still need to look to upgrade that point guard position. But I do think that Sexton would be a nice pickup. Of course, the price to get Sexton at this point is pretty unclear, but if the Knicks can add Sexton without giving up too much, I think that would be a good move. But anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. Should the Knicks look to trade for Collin Sexton? What would you give up in a trade? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and have a great rest of your day.